happy day. I welcome you. Oh my goodness. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, tuning into my vibe. My name is Miss Sasha, although my pen name happens to be Queen Sunshine. Because I bring the sunshine, all the warm, yummy, gooey feels that the sun gives you. I just kind of sprinkle it all over your life. So if you need a little bit of that, you're definitely in the right place. And I'm coming to you today from beautiful Monterey, California. I have so much to say, don't really know where to start, so I'll just kind of jump out there and see where this conversation leads. Today's conversation, nothing is scripted. I have no notes. I am not coming from any particular thought. I just felt the need to share a little bit of my bliss. I'm sitting here on the pond today. My shoulder is out. I'm having a good day. I'm feeling nice. And I wanted, as I'm in this vibe, I wanted to share it with you. And I hope that something I say has some effect on you, causes you to alchemize your energies, raise up your vibration, transform your limitation, and just rise. I asked a question on YouTube, I asked a question on Instagram today, and that question was, if today was your last day on earth, would you be satisfied with the life that you have lived? I don't know, I go right for the jugular. I do, right? Take a deep breath. For me, that used to be a very hard question to answer. I can only imagine where some of you are. But if you're on my channel, I expect that your vibration is about as high as mine, so you're probably doing some pretty kickstar things, and I'm excited to know and to learn and grow beside you. But that question still can kind of make us cringe, because it requires us to get real. Get real with the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. Are you truly satisfied? I hope you can hear me. I'm outside. I got the mic, but airplanes are flying by. I'll revise the format if we need to improve it. I'm in the park. I'm watching my surroundings. But that question can really make you question and contemplate and kind of get uncomfortable. For me, I know for all of my life, I've been half-assing it, very truthfully. I've not been living to my highest potential. I've not been trying to rise my vibration. I have been taking substandard and basically a lackadaisical approach. I know I say that word so funny, but I like when I say it. Lackadaisical. I've taken this approach to life, and I've gotten piss poor results, honestly. This year in January, I remember being in a place of absolute desperation, wanting something more, needing something more, desiring something more, and not getting it, not having it, and then being frustrated that it just wasn't happening. And so I had to change. I had to change every single little thing about me, because it wasn't working. It simply wasn't working. And I was already a pretty dope person, comparatively speaking, but I didn't feel that I was as dope. Excuse me, I'm in the park. Something flew in my eye. Okay, I'm better now. I didn't feel like I was maximizing the potential that I truly had. And so, again, something's in my eye. I'm getting better. The quality on my camera will get better, but we're just having a conversation in the park. And if you were sitting with me in the park, I'd absolutely be doing this too. So, for me, I ran from me. Why? Well, because I know at my 100%, I am a lot. It took a lot for me to be vulnerable. It took a lot for me to be open. It took a lot for me to sit outside with no makeup on, my hair not combed, my shoulders out in the park, talking on a camera to myself. What? That made me nervous. It was unnerving. And I just didn't want to do it, so I didn't. And then I would try to do it, but I would cower and I would hide and put limitations and have this OCD perfection complex about myself. And all the while, I'm dying. Inside, I'm freaking dying because I want to share, I want to talk, and I'm not doing that. And it's far too much. And so, trying to get the right angle, bam, that looks nice. That looks nice. And so, is that too much sun? Can you see me? Shine on, sun, shine on. It took a lot for me to be authentically me. So on that cold, dreary day in the Midwest, in Chicago, in the hood of Chicago, of all the places in the hood. And so, yeah, in the hood, you can find transformation. You can make a decision that'll change your whole life. And for me, I made one decision. And that decision was, for Christmas of 2019, I was going to give myself a whole new life. And so I did. I gave myself a whole new life. I broke up with the man that I knew I loved, but I also knew I didn't love him like a woman should love her husband. Integral decisions ain't always easy to make, but I love him. He's one of my best friends. He's held me down. We made a person. But in my heart of hearts, I knew I was longing for something more. So I ended that. Also, since January, I lost 70 pounds. Yeah, right? That's a lot. That's like a little person, a 10-year-old. I lost the whole 10-year-old and didn't need DCFS involved. Yeah, I did that. I also stopped wearing weaves and wigs because I wanted to learn what my natural hair was like. I wanted to learn a natural hair care routine. I wanted to see what I looked like at all those phases. When my scarf came off my head at night, I wanted to see what my hair did. I wanted to do the twist, and I did it, and I learned it, and I love my hair. And I found out, surprisingly, that Vaseline can comb your hair. What? I love it. And I just be slathering Vaseline all over myself from head to toe. Like, it keeps me good in between pedicures. It keeps my hair shiny and curly. It keeps my shoulders on. Look at that shine. That's sponsored by Vaseline, but not sponsored by Vaseline. Unless Vaseline wants to sponsor me, then I'll be down for that. But, you know, I'm silly. But it took me a year to really dig into looking at the woman in the mirror. People say, you're so beautiful, your skin is so whatever. Yes, thank you so much. But I didn't see it that way. I really didn't. And so it took me some time, a year. It took me some time. I started doing yoga in my living room on the floor, on my yoga mat, in booty shorts and a sports bra, while my son was sleeping in the next room, or while my son was bouncing in his bouncer across the room. I would play Yo-Yo Ma far too loud for my hood neighbors to appreciate. And I would sing with Andrea Bocelli as if I was an opera singer. And then I would take walks every single day, and I'd be gone for 3 hours at a time. And those walks, I was able to clear my mind and escape my reality for a minute. I was so anxious and nervous and scared and worried and frustrated that all I knew to do was to move my feet. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then I got to a point where it was time for me to leave. The life I built with my child's father came to an end. And I made that decision. And the consequences that came from that, well, I had to live with those decisions. That means that my security and my stability, because we lived together, it all kind of went out the window because I said no. And then I got nervous. And so, end of my lease comes up and I'm trying to figure out where to go, what to do, who to be. I just felt like I had a new chance in life. And I was ready to take that new chance and to jump into it head first. And I was willing to live with whatever consequences. I mean, by this point, I've kind of done it all. And then I kind of had this spiritual awakening that was like intense, but delightful. And it was it was laugh worthy. I mean, I was in a situation where I was drowning and I needed help. And my pride would not let me ask for help. I mean, I wouldn't ask for help for nothing. My pride was like, no, boo, you just got to figure this out. It's the bed you made. You got to sleep in it. No one's going to make that bed with you. They ain't going to get in it. They just, look, you got to do it. And so in pursuit to be a big girl and to live my life and to do what I needed to do, I had a choice. I was at the end of my rope. I had to move out of my apartment. I moved into a hotel. And at the end of my cash, I was like, look, you need to figure something out. Because money's not going to magically appear. Things ain't going to magically nothing. And so I had to start asking for help. I did. And I asked for help from everybody and anybody. And not really, but kind of. And what I mean is I had to go to people who I've abused their help and ask for more help. And then I had to go to the government and ask for help. And I had to ask people for help and be denied and have people laugh at me. And what? And it's like, I'm just trying to exist here. But that was my lesson. My lesson was learning how to ask for help because I couldn't before. Checking the time here. But I got to a place where I had a decision. I could stay in Chicago and rebuild my life. Or this idea kind of just came out of nowhere. I can fly to California and rebuild my life there. I laugh because if you knew the ups and the downs of my topsy-turvy journey, you'd be like, what? I'll save that for another day. I don't want this video to get too long. I just want to share my story so that you can see yourself in it and laugh at yourself, because we all die. We all die. No one makes it out of life alive. You may as well do something that's gonna scare all the shit out of you. That way, at least you get a free universe colonic. It's so damn crazy. I laugh because it's so damn outrageous. And I love that I live an outrageous life. People look at my life and they're like, girl, you losing it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. It's so wonderful. And so on a whim, I booked the flight and flew across the country to Monterey, California with a suitcase. I left all my beautiful furniture and all my beautiful everything and just flew across the country. because I was dead set on creating a brand new life and doing something new. And it's always been my dream to live in California. It's always been my dream to get up in the morning and see the ocean and walk to the ocean and enjoy the cool, easy pace of California living, and to go to the strawberry farms. And I've done that. And so regardless of what my struggle is as I rebuild my life, I mean, I've done what I thought was impossible, because the little middle class suburban perfectionist me would not have done any of that. She would have waited for the right moment. She would have waited for a friend to join her. No, I did this solo dolo by myself, just me, the universe, and God. Like, here we go. We gonna figure this out together, because I realized that everything in me was it. That was the key. You know, intuition is your God station. It's how you find God. We looking for a God in the sky. Pie in the sky, God, as Reverend Ike says. No, God is alive inside of you, having a human experience beside you, walking with you, in you, breathing as you, having a personified experience through you, as you, for you, by you, made by you, created by you, co-created, whatever you want to say. But God is alive inside of you. And you know how God's alive? Because you're breathing. God breathed a breath of life into man. He said, let us create man in our image. 3 in 1, spirit, soul, body, 3 in 1. And so I began to get real close with the God in me. It's the God in me. Hey. And what that meant was I had to grow a really intimate relationship with my intuition, because I was shutting her down. My intuition led me across the country with a duffel bag and like $100 in my pocket. What? Who does that? But my intuition did. My intuition put me before the right people who got me the opportunities that I needed, got me the housing, the shelter, the food, the jobs, the clothes, everything I needed, who made me fall in love with me and my kick-ass, rockstar-ass mindset and my personality. It showed me in ways that I never even could see. I wanted to be in love so bad, but I didn't even know why I was worthy of being loved. And then I took this journey within myself to find that I already am loved, and I have so much that is lovable, and I have so much love to share. And so it was like a journey through me, a journey into my mind, into my soul. And then I ran into emotional traumas and emotional triggers, and me searching for true love, me in pursuit of true love. I found me underneath all my scars, underneath all the horrible things that have happened in my life, underneath all the unfair things that have happened in my experience. I have had to find and reconcile me. And so I've done that. I flew across the country to California for healing. I thought I suffered from postpartum depression, because I was like, look, I have a baby and this is what it is. And yeah, I believe for a season I did suffer with postpartum depression with no treatment except for marijuana. And then I begin to misuse that, using marijuana as a crutch to avoid life. No, we gotta feel life. Life is meant to be felt. The God in me was not trying to not feel life. God in me was trying to experience the fullness of the human experience, which is sadness and anger and bliss and romance and parenthood and being afraid. And so I allowed myself to feel it all, and I journaled and wrote poetry and learned how to sing and sang songs, and then I learned how to dance and started dancing it, and I just started to creatively express everything that was bursting from inside of me, which is why I'm kind of bursting all over this YouTube channel. You know, you see me in my different phases, and I was kind of embarrassed that I'm on camera looking a little bananas, screaming and jogging and running and whatever I'm doing. And the perfectionist in me was like, girl, delete that. But I'm like, no, let people see the phases. Let people see what it looks like to be ups and downs, to be ins and outs, to be human. I'm out here being human. I'm sitting here on the water with my shoulders out, talking to a camera, looking like a whole millennial. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm an OG millennial in this piece, yo. What you need? You need to find something on Google? Yes, I got you. I date and then I Google you. Well, yeah, I gotta figure out who I'm inviting into my life, for real. But this is just me. This is a bare, honest conversation with me in the park today. I hope something I'm saying is giving you peace. Oh, wait, kicker. If I go and tell you even more of my tea, I came across the country for healing. I thought I was healing from postpartum depression. Come to find out I'm healing from bipolar disorder. Oh, that's fun. Something you've had your entire life and never even knew it was a thing. But then you look back over your life and you realize, oh yeah, that was a symptom. That was a trigger right there. And that was bad mistakes. Yeah, well, that's And then really making peace with that. And then being on treatment, being excited about treatment. Like, yes, I'm normal. This is what it feels like to be normal. Yes. And so for any of y'all who are going through your transition, going through your awakening, you are realizing things about yourself that are intriguing and scary and bananas. And the key is to make peace with you in all of your phases. Make peace with you. That's what I've had to do with me. And so as I look here at the camera talking to you, I literally see my reflection, and I am making peace with me. And that gives me ease, and that gives me joy, and that gives me so much more than any man, any bottle, any blunt, anything can give me. And that's been my journey. My journey, I told myself in January I was going to give myself a whole new life. I didn't know what that meant, but God and me knew what that meant. It meant all my drama and all my BS had to go. It meant that I had to heal from my emotional traumas and had to heal my triggers. I had to say the hard words and do the hard things and just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. That's what the conversation today is about. It's about evolving. It's about facing the man in the mirror and evolving and doing the work necessary to evolve. I mean, I had anxiety attacks. I had panic attacks, so much so I wouldn't talk, I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't sleep. Yo, this journey ain't been easy, but I had to do it. You know why I had to do it? For a man named Jax. Well, my son, his name is Jax. And him as a man in the future, I wanted to make sure that his mama didn't give him all the trauma that she was refusing to deal with. Come on. My beautiful, happy baby. He was the happiest person I have ever known. He is the happiest person I've ever known. And I feel it's my duty to protect that happiness. And so I will. And I knew that meant I had to come face to face with the man in the mirror. And I had to become 100% with me. And I did. And I lost 70 pounds in the process. I moved across the country in the process. I got rid of all my dips in the process. Yes! And I made myself a brand new start. And that feels damn good. And you can too. Oh, if I could tell you the journey of me would be here forever. But I want you to know it's possible and it's doable and it's time. In just a few short weeks, come 12/31 at 11:59, well, a whole decade's gonna be gone. A whole decade. Who am I 10 years ago? I'd have been 21. A whole decade between now and then. And well, I feel like something's trying to bite me. I gave myself new life. And if I could go back to that little girl at 21 years old, trying to build a business and be a superstar, I tell her one day at a time, honey. I tell her one day at a time. And I tell her, above all, stand in your integrity and make yourself your best friend. With love, guys. I'll talk to you again. This is Queen Sunshine, darlings. And I will see you soon.